let's get lit. Boom. Catchphrase. That seems really dumb, but that's where my intro's at right now. But today we're going to be talking about the MC from Apurture. It's a little box that has a light in it. So basically it's just a small little light that can fit real easily in your camera bag or your pocket even. And then the package, it has a little carabiner. I always forget what these are called, these little attachments. So it easily fits in your camera bag. You can hang it from something on the outside if you needed to. And it's got a little pouch for the light to store it in. And then it's got a little back pouch for some adhesive pads that you can stick to it, and also the charging cord as well. So it's a nice little package. But what we really want to talk about is the features of this light. And as you can see, this gel on the outside, it's a little soft box they give for you. This is just what the light looks like without the box on. It gets a lot more harsh, so the soft box helps, especially if you have it pointed towards you. So just taking a closer look at this light, the bottom it looks like it's got some vents and a way for you to mount it on some sort of small tripod or stand. Then on this side you have a little control panel where it's the on-off switch. This little dial helps you control the settings that you're using. And then here's the little charging cable input. The next side, I'm gonna have to turn it on again to light it up. This is the information that it tells you what's reading at. So right now I'm just on the regular bright light settings. So I'm at 6,500 Kelvin. I'm at a 50% intensity. This little panel right here that you use to control it, all I have to do is click it once to switch, so I can go from 50 all the way up to 100, then all the way down to 0, or you'd probably just go down to 1. So I'm just going to shoot this right back to 50. Operator error. One thing to note, this is a little bit finicky. It's not super exact, but if you're patient with the device, it will get you to exactly what you need to. So as again, you tap it once to change, so it can go from 6,500 all the way down to 3,200 Kelvin to get you a nice warm orange light. I'm just gonna keep it up at 6,500 just for the video. And then to get to the main menu, you hold down the little maneuver, so you can go from your standard light, which is CCT, BT, which allows you to Bluetooth it through a specific app. FX gives you a variety of different effect lights that it has built in. And then HSI is your color changing panel. So this allows you to basically change the light to any color you need to. So you can go all the way up to pure red at 360 or 0 and go through every range of color that you need to. And then besides here, you can also change the saturation. And the intensity is really just the brightness of the color. So another really awesome feature about this light is that it has magnets built into the back. So if you don't have your adhesive pads on in a specific spot you want to stick it to, if you do have a metal surface on your wall, I don't, so I'm just going to use this mailbox as an example. I can take this and magnetize it to the back. So that way, if there's a metal wall somewhere, or you just need the lighting in a specific spot, you can literally just attach this back to the wall without any additions or extra adhesive or anything at all. But since it is daytime, I really can't show you how strong this light can get overall. So I'm just gonna wait till it's dark out to really show you the full intensity of this light. So just give me 1 second. All right, now it's nighttime. My lighting setup is I have the MC light about a little bit more than an arm's length away from me in this direction, and then I'm backlit by my regular lamp in my room. So I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what this looks like with just the regular light with no backlight, to just show you how strong it can get, so you can get a sense of how powerful this light is. So I'm now gonna bump this up to 100. I'm gonna start at 0 and then work my way up. So this is with the light completely off. So I'm very underexposed. I mean, I'm dark, I've got no light shining on me, I'm only backlit right now. So if I bump this up to 50%, this is kind of like what you're seeing right now. Now if I go all the way to 100, it's a lot brighter on me. I might be able to make this look a little bit better, but this is kind of how powerful this light is, and I'm just gonna run through it if we take the backlight away, just to show you how much light this actually projects out. So I'm gonna drop this all the way back down to 0. Hey Google, turn off the light. Alright, so now we have no light at all. I'm gonna slowly bump this up to 50. So this is what it looks like if the only light I have on is the MC light. As you can see, I'm lit, but you're really getting no light behind me whatsoever. I'm gonna bump this up to 100. Now I'm just gonna be super bright. You're really not gonna see much of a difference in the background except for the corner where my shadow is not blocking any of the light at all. But now I'm just gonna show you what this looks like with using a color instead of just a white light. I'm gonna go with a nice warm red light. Just gonna boom this up to 50.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
So here's what it looks like if I'm just using this as a general red color to front light me with the backlight of my room lights. If I go all the way up to 100%, this is how bright it's gonna get, scorching red. Now let's drop all the way back down. Hey Google, turn off the light. There we go at 50%. Now this kind of works well because the red really works with the darkness of the room. I mean, it feels better knowing that I just have red light on me and everything else is completely black. I'm gonna bump this all the way up to 100. So this is at max. This is like probably too bright for the mood. If I drop this back down to like, let's say 75, that seems just about right to give you a nice little glow to the room. Alright, now I'm back at white light at 50%, so now instead of having the light directly in front of me, I'm going to try to move it into a more intermediate place, maybe like right behind my chair, just to see how much of a difference it makes for just backlighting in general. So I've got it directly on my chair behind me now. It's really not making much of a difference at 50. You can see it light up the bathroom just a little bit more when it's at 100%, but it's really not going to be that much of a difference, especially if you don't have a light in front of you now. Hey Google, turn off the light. So this is 100% with no room light. This is just light on its own. So if you have two of these, you could kind of sandwich yourself between them to just light up the back enough and then front light yourself. So what would be an interesting idea is to switch it to a color. Switch it back to red. So you could backlight yourself with red like this and then have another one shine directly on you, which might look for a very interesting look. So I'm going to show you guys the effects that it has built in. Now these effects are basically different kind of color settings that are automatically programmed into the light. So for example, you've got like a cop car, lighting, just different lighting techniques that you wouldn't be able to just do on your own, or basically it'd be really complex. These are just kind of like fun things that Apurture has automated into the light that you can play around with. Use my powers to reverse time back to this afternoon. Just a few more things to run through this light. It's got about a 2-hour battery life to it, so you can't be using this to light something the entire project if you're shooting for several hours. What this is great for is to key light specific things in photos like drinks, food, small products. This light is also great to use as a key light or some sort of like dramatic lighting if you want to add some intensity or just change up how your video looks. Unfortunately, this is not strong enough to be your only single light source. The problem is it does not project enough light overall to light up the entire video if you have a completely dark environment. But it can light your room in an interesting environment like a party, or just to put some mood into what you're doing, just so that you've got some color, some ambiance, I guess is the right word to use for that. So it is very great at that for about $100. Overall, this light is awesome because why I really got it is so that I don't have to rely on the ever-changing daylight. I can always, if it gets too dark out, I can close my shades, put this up in a corner, use the light behind me. Hey Google, turn on light. So I can use my living room light, and plus putting this in a corner to light behind me and in front of me overall, this is pretty sweet. And for $100, this is perfect to just have small on-the-go lighting in case of an emergency, or you just need a little bit more lighting if the place you're shooting doesn't have enough indoor lighting or has very low ambiance, kind of like a restaurant. You need to shoot a product, you need to shoot a dish. The overall lighting isn't great. You put this up in a corner and you get just the right amount of light to light up your meal properly. So overall, I'd say this light is super handy, super helpful. Helps you out in a bunch of different ways. You can get super creative with it, but in very unique places, such as on walls, metal outlets, metal structures. You can use the adhesive tape on the back to stick it to a specific surface if you're trying to light. You can also use it for very unique lighting services. If you're not trying to use it to light yourself, you can make your background look really intense, or add just a little bit of mood or color to any photo or video you're taking. But with all the features that it has, and for the price point that it is compared to what you might pay for big lighting setups, you can really say that this little light is really in the bag. So I apparently forgot to talk about something, but I need to talk about the app that you can use to use this remotely. So the app itself is called Sidious Link, and it's going to look like a green S made out of semicircles. It's going to open up that, and it's going to put a menu that says Scenes up in the top right corner. There's going to be a little plus button. I'm going to hit that. So then it's going to pop up Scene 001. Just going to click on that box. Once you click on it, it will say Scene 01 up at the top. You're going to hit the green plus button to add a fixture, which this is a light fixture. So it's going to ask you to make sure you reset the Bluetooth on it. So I'm going to do that now. And since I've already done it a few times, it instantly comes up. So I'm going to click on that, hit set up at the bottom. Now it's going to just set it up through the app. So it's going to take a few seconds. Success. I'm going to click into it. So now I have full control over this light, or I should. Yeah, so there we go. So now the intensity is at 0. Now I'm controlling with that. It's at 50, back to 100. I can control the light now just by sliding back and forth with my phone. I can then go to color, and then I can just slide my finger on the color that I want, and up at the top I can control the intensity. And then there's also a panel for effects. So let's see if I can do. Let's see, there's actually a super sweet setting in this. Let me see if I can find it. Right underneath the 4 main tabs at the top, there's going to be a little section underneath that says Picker. And what that does, it allows you to control the color of the light just by pointing your phone at a color of something you see in your room and switching it to that color. So for example, I got some nice red shorts on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of my shorts. It's going to select that best guess. And now it's going to be the same color as my shorts. It just doesn't look like that on screen because it's daylight, but it is red, the same color of my shorts. But let's say I don't want red. Let's say I want the blue of this mouse pad. So I'm just going to basically aim my phone at the blue, hit pick up, and then it switches to that blue color. So when you combine that with the fact that you can put it somewhere off in the room, I'll show you this, guys, when it's dark out again, but it kind of allows you to have more control of this light in a very unique way. So as always, it's time to recap, or as I was trying to with this video, rebag this whole thing.